Definitely a different kind of shop. I ain't never seen a shop like this. The journey begins. I am seriously thinking about twin turbo in this car. The thing about running a turbo is that it's a different setup and it's harder to launch. So if that's the case, you got to get your launch down. So I'll twin turbo the Demon first to get my practice in with it. And then when I twin turbo the drag pack, I'll be ready. So here we go. I'm going to a shop in Dallas that works with Gearheads fabrication on. I believe they're the top people as far as doing twin turbos. So. Look at this. So what kind of engine is this, Scott?
It's a 550 Ci. It's running roller rocker cams. It's got a Pro Charger on it. It's pushing 1,600 horsepower.
Wow.
It's got a fully built transmission. It's got notch seat frames. It's got chromoly, a 3.5-inch chromoly drive shaft on it. I mean, this car is legit.
It's ready to go.
It's ready to go. Yeah, it's never really been used.
Has he took it down the track yet?
He hasn't. He drove it through McKinney Square, Town Square.
I bet that was fun. Wow. 69?
Yes, sir. It's hot. The color pops on it.
Oh, it's that, yeah. It's crazy. Nice.
Yeah. So the fenders have all been, the metalwork's been done on it. They've all been pushed out and flared. That's completely custom. Everything on it is period specific for Ford, with the exception of the suspension on it. The suspension they changed to a torsion adjustment suspension. So you can see in the floorboards on the front up here, you can make adjustments to your torsion setup.
Oh, wow.
If you want to set it up for a track, if you want to set it up for street use, that can all be done from inside the trunk or at the floorboard here. It's also got an exhaust dump on it. He was pissing his neighbors off with a straight pipe, so he had to put an exhaust on it. This guy here, we built for SEMA. We stretched this vehicle, so pulled the body off, cut the frame out, stretched it 30 inches, grabbed another Jeep, cut a section out of it, and extended it out. We dropped an eco diesel in it before Jeep ever put an eco diesel in one.
Wow, you were first.
Put portal axles underneath it. So this thing is kind of a go anywhere, basically made for a show.
And rear seats, rear facing seats.
Third row seating, that's right.
Third row seating.
Custom rack on it, built all of that in our fab department. We've got a wall of projects back here. These are all in various stages of getting refit.
So did y'all fab this up in this
That's right.
car?
So our fab department, our primary fabricator, he's been doing this forever and a day. He worked for 2 NASCAR teams. He can build a car from the ground up. He does all the sheet metal, he does all the metal cutting, he does all the bending, documents everything so that he can reproduce it. This Roadrunner is designed for a certain circuit. I don't remember which circuit it is, but we built the cage in it and all the tubes built on their specifications.
Nice.
We've got to finish up the suspension. This is kind of where we left off on it. We're going to do a coilover setup on it. But all of the sheet metal, like the firewall, all of the cage in it, that's all custom.
Wow.
This guy we built for SEMA. I am in the last stages of kind of getting it ready to go online. So we did a Coyote swap on it.
So which year did this go to SEMA?
It went to SEMA in 2000 and, shoot, I don't even remember. I don't know if it's 17 or 18. It was a while ago, and it was kind of an owner's vehicle. Sometimes they'll cycle in and out of them, and then we'll turn around and put it out on market. Our original intention was to throw a Whipple supercharger on top of this, and we could not get the brackets, and we could not get the thing to fit inside there without some major modifications. And we didn't want to stretch the vehicle forward.
The frame.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it does have 1-ton axles underneath it. It's got completely custom 4-link suspension setups underneath it. We're running coilovers in the back. We actually cut the back of it out. So the coilovers come up inside of it, and we've got a lot more adjustment in that setup. So we can take it off-road. We can make it set up for on-road, any of it. This guy is, we got delayed because of COVID on the rear wide body kit.
It's a Chevy?
This is a Chevy Blazer.
Chevy Blazer, yeah.
Did a wide body, did an LS swap on it. We put a wide body kit on the front. The rear wide body kit that came in wouldn't fit the body lines, and we were going to have to put 3 times as much work in it as we should. Basically, we're going to have to rebuild the wide body kit on the back. So we opted to order a different one, and they were shut down through a lot of COVID. So we only got it about a month and a half ago. We're just waiting for a lift to open up. This one, we're in the final stages on. We've got to finish out the interior. It's a full restoration for a daily driver. We're never going to be a show car. We've got all the new sticker or the decal kits in for the Cyclone. And the other thing that I'm waiting on, we're actually doing a built engine on it, and because it's a big block, Edelbrock has been on hold forever and a day. We can't find an intake manifold for it. So we're just being held up by back order. Yeah.
I tell you what, COVID put a lot of stuff on hold, didn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's
crazy.
Yeah, it is insane. Now tires are a problem, right? Yeah, our Lemons car, 24-hour Lemons, you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
That was it placed.
It did place.
Yeah. So we actually cheated on this car. Now we did bribes, so we've got our bribes here and we've got our bribes here. We spent too much money on the car. We got everybody a bunch of liquor and beer so that they let us race it. The one thing that we didn't do though, and I don't even know if I should talk about this, but the one thing we didn't tell them is that this is a balanced engine.
Oh, it is.
But, so you're not supposed to blueprint balance, right?
Right.
You're supposed to keep these on the cheap. You know how NASCAR guys are always tricky? So it's not balanced on the front. You can't look in here and see that this engine's balanced and blueprinted. But on the back,
you can see.
We drilled holes in the flywheel and we weighted it and balanced it all out. So this thing
you can't see it.
Dude, this thing sounds so sick when it's running. It is crazy. When they heard it on the track, the muffler actually fell off of it. So it's a 24-hour race, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to run. So the exhaust kind of fell apart on the back because these are cheap, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as they heard that straight pipe coming out, they're like,
Wait a minute. Oh my goodness. I have a question for you. I have my Demon engine and it's setting to the side. If you wanted to put it into something to shock the internet, what would you put it in? Like I've seen guys put a Hellcat motor in a Prius and in a Miata. But I'm thinking, what kind of effect would...
What if you put it in a 911?
A turbo?
Like a 2006
yeah, Porsche. Yeah, because they do put like 350s and stuff in them.
So here's the deal, though. You really have to make sure that you can squeeze it in.
Yeah, squeeze it in there. Yeah. Wow.
Did you see that Sprinter van back there?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm going to show you the fact.
Let's check it out. So explain the terminology of Sprinter vans.
Okay, so Mercedes Sprinters, they're typically made for commercial use, right? It's kind of your European cargo movers. They've gained a lot of traction here in the U.S. for the same thing. That's why you're seeing all the Dodge versions and the Mercedes Sprinter vans that are delivery vehicles, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
But Overlanders have really picked up.
Yeah, the Overlanders is going crazy.
Exactly.
It's like ruling on YouTube.
Man, people are dropping $500,000 in Overlanders. I mean, crazy.
Oh,
so this guy came to us and he said, hey, I want to make this thing go anywhere. So inherently there's a couple of problems with that because this is a one-ton vehicle, right? It had a dual rear wheel on it. Well, as soon as you go out into an overlanding experience, you've got to carry spare tires on you. If you bust a tire and you're in the middle of nowhere, you've got to be able to change it. And that dual rear wheel setup doesn't do it. First off, it's not high enough off the ground, so we had to raise the vehicle. We put a lift on it, but then we also threw the largest tires you can squeeze into these things. So we had to cut the body out to be able to get these tires underneath it. And by swapping it from a dual rear wheel to a single rear wheel. Now we can just carry 2 spares. And that way he's not stuck like Chuck if something goes wrong.
Yeah, you can change the tire.
Right. So the other problem with this is a true overlander. I mean, you've only got so much surface area on this vehicle. Like, we've got gray water tanks and white water tanks underneath this thing. We've also got a hydraulic lift system. We've got airbags to kind of offset and help us with the overall weight of the vehicle. And all that stuff has to be modified to fit because there's just not enough real estate underneath it. Additionally, I mean, you run into problems like, hey, where are we going to actually put these tires? Because
yeah, I mean, I'm looking at these winches. The tires are hooked on the
That's exactly
the
right.
winches.
That's right. So they don't make a rack to hold spare tires for a Sprinter van, so we have to build it. He also needed to be able to carry tools and stuff like that, so he's got toolboxes because he's got living quarters inside. It won't make it, right?
Wow.
So he wanted to make sure that the tools were accessible on a daily basis. So we had to keep those low on the bumper. And then we had to come in and build.
Now, where do you put the spare fuel at?
What's the spare fuel?
Yeah.
So he would keep that in here. Like he's got extra tanks inside there. Yep. So we had to build this rack, and we had to build these doors. All of this is custom made to be able to hold these tires. We built the handle for it. We built the spacer to hold it in, the locking system. Our fab guy built.
Where it swings out? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Oh, man, that's simple. It comes out really quick.
Right. Wow. And the winch system is built so that one person can get the tire
Can get
down,
a tire up and down.
Get it back up again.
Man, you guys are truly fabricators.
They do make fender flares, wide fender flares. Those plastic fender flares, we had to cut those, modify them, plastic weld them back together, body work them, and now they're getting sprayed and they'll get put on so everything looks neat and polished and like it's meant to be.
So he can stay inside or outside.
So the kids will stay up in the tent. That's what his plan is. The kids stay in the tent. He's got
a shower in there and everything.
That's right. You know, we also had to modify things when you put these huge tires underneath this. So you run into issues like the depth tank. So if you want to get inspection, you still got to run depth in it so you can clean that decently. So the depth tank had to be relocated. We shoved it way up inside here. And then...
so how do you feel it? Where do you feel it at?
So the depth filler...
Oh, it fill up in the front, up top.
Right
nice.
And then we also built this guard underneath it.
To guard the tank so it doesn't get damaged.
So if he really articulates up in there, he can't hit the brake.
Doesn't get damaged. Wow. How much extra weight did you put onto the vehicle with all the stuff? What would you say?
We're going to come in right at our max. We've been quarter weighting this thing every step of the way. I don't know what the exact weight is. I think we've got it written down, but I can get it.
But it's maxed out as far as weight.
Yeah.
Now, how much can it tow?
He's got enough to put to fill up his water storage in it. He's got enough to get his full gas tank. He's got enough to get all of his personal effects for it, and he's going to start hitting that limit right there.
Would he be able to tow with it?
So his intention was never to tow, so we've been building off that. We're very careful to communicate exactly what you're looking to do. He is going to be able to carry his bikes. He's going to be able to carry his paddle boards. He's going to be able to carry some accessories that he can play with while he's out on the open road.
Wow.
So he can office away in this thing. He's got satellite.
Yeah, I was looking at that, the satellite up there.
Yep. So he's got satellite phone. He's got satellite for TV, and he's got wireless extenders.
So where's he going to drive this thing at? Wherever he wants to.
Take this thing to Timbuktu.
Wherever he wants to, huh?
Wherever he wants to. The wheels were all custom built, so that was a big challenge for us. Nobody wants to touch Sprinter wheels because they run 1 ton on a 6-lug pattern, and everybody wants to go to an 8-lug pattern. So we worked with a steel company that we made steel wheels for it just for this purpose, and they're designed to carry the weight that this thing is going to have.
Cooler back there on the man, y'all got stuff going on in there, man. This is crazy. So how hard is it for you to manage the project and keep them moving forward?
Man, this is a custom world. You run into problems every single hour, you know. That's what we do. We just manage problems. I'll do whatever's needed. I'll clean the bathroom. I'll take out the trash. I don't care. But we're very careful. So we've got a dispatch system that we can just walk by and see exactly where the project is. We've got a piece of software that tells us when the project was entered. It tells us when that project's supposed to be done, and it lets us communicate back with the client as we run through the different stages. So we try to work that communication with our clients very carefully.
Hey guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and also click the bell. Check out the videos up at the top, and if you get a chance, check out our merch store. Peace.